to wake up in the morning to the quiet of the cove and hear Aunt Bessie talking to herself, and to hear poor Uncle John mumbling wishes to O'Nell. It made me feel like everything was fine. I was born down by the water, it's here I'm gonna stay. I've searched for all the reasons why I should go away, but I haven't got the thirst for all those modern day toys, so I'll just take my chances with those saltwater joys. Following a little brook as it trickles to the shore in the autumn when the trees are flaming red, kicking leaves that fall around me, watching sunset paint the hills. It's all I'll ever need to feel at home. This island that we cling to has been handed down with pride by folks who fought to live here, taking hardships all in stride. So I'll compliment her beauty, hold on to my goodbyes, and I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys. How can I leave those mornings with the sunrise on the cove and the gulls like flies surrounding Clayton's Wharf? Platter's Island wrapped in rainbow in the evening after fog. The ocean smells are perfume to my soul. Some go to where the buildings reach to meet the clouds, where warm and gentle people turn to swarming faceless crowds. So I'll do without their riches, glamour and the noise, and I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys. Some go to where the buildings reach to meet the clouds, where warm and gentle people turn to swarming faceless crowds. So I'll do without their riches, glamour and the noise, and I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys.
Good evening and welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight in our stories we have the Green Team, Sand and Sea Festival activities, Internet update. Please stay tuned for these stories after this.
Oh yeah, is that a trumpet?
Cliff Chatterton knows the importance of computers for child amputees.
I went to university for 4 years. You gotta learn how to type.
Through Jumpstart, champs with multiple amputations receive computers and devices designed for them. Workshops offer the training they need for future independence.
We realized in the war amps that the computer is the great equalizer.
See?
Yeah, we got it.
Got that one.
We got it.
A group of students have been honored to work on the Green Team. They dropped by the studio to have a chat and explain to us what the Green Team is all about. Good evening and welcome to our studios. For our listening audience who may not know you, could you please introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, I'm Crystal Lee Han, and I'm the team leader for the Burgeo Green Team.
I'm Alicia Vetcher, and I'm a team member.
I'm Victoria Piercy, and I'm also a team member.
And I'm Melissa Biller, and I'm also a team member.
So could you tell me a little bit about the Green Team project?
Okay, the Green Team is run by Conservation Corps Newfoundland Labrador. The Conservation Corps is concerned with environmental and cultural heritage issues, and they run many programs within the province, one of which is the Green Team, which we're working on this summer.
Okay. So what are some of the projects planned for this summer?
We have 23 different projects in Newfoundland and Labrador. There's a variety of different projects ranging from There's an anti-idling campaign, which is located in Corner Brook. There's a cultural heritage program in Cartwright, Labrador. And in Burgeo, we're doing a program which is based on piping plover guardianship.
Okay. When did you start and when do you finish?
Well, we started on July 3rd and we went to Cornbrook for a week's training. And then this Monday we started up to St. Mix with Derek. And we in on August the 24th. So it's 8 weeks.
8 weeks, okay. Do you have any tips for viewers on how to avoid disturbing the piping plover?
Some tips for not disturbing the piping plover would be keep your dogs on a leash just so they don't disturb the piping plover. Keep down to the water's edge of the beach so it's not in the piping plover's area. And exit the beaches at the far ends so it's not close to the piping plover.
Okay. Do you have any more plans for this summer?
Well, basically, we're just going to do some beach cleanups and trail signs and like basic trail maintenance and stuff like brush cutting and stuff, just making our trails a little bit wider. And we got environmental awareness days planned. We have to have 3 of those over the course of the summer. And well, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so when you do environmental plans, like what kind of things you got planned for that?
Well, basically, we just got like we got some games and stuff from like just stuff to get them like interested and involved with like the environment and that and
For the environmental awareness days, there's 2 main days that we have planned. One is focused on global warming, and the other one is water conservation. And we also have a few different things planned, just like Melissa said, just to get them environmentally aware.
Okay. So most of your job is taking place up to St. Mix?
Most of our environmental awareness days are focused on school-aged children, but we also have a game show that we're planning. It's going to take place probably the week after Stand and See. So there'll be more information coming up on that within the next couple of weeks, but we're hoping to get a few different groups from different community organizations, like hopefully the Girl Guides, maybe different groups like the Lions Club, or anyone that's interested to take part in this game show.
Okay, very good. So is there anything else you would like to add to it before you leave?
No, I think that's about it. Yeah, we look forward to the summer, and hopefully we'll be out in the community and get a chance to talk to a lot of people about the piping plover and other environmental issues.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for dropping by.
Thank you.
The Sand and Sea Festival is just a little under 2 weeks away. If the weather trend holds, we could have a very wet Sand and Sea Festival. The Sand and Sea brochures are distributed around town. There's entertainment each day, games for all ages, duck hunts, and poker walks. Each evening brings its own activities. Thursday, July 26th, as a wiener roast and 60 dance at the park. Friday, July 28th, there's the ever-popular Screeching In ceremony, Christmas in July, and fireworks. And Saturday, July 28th, there will be bingo at the community center and an adult dance at the rec center with music by Julian Austin and later on the Country Boys. For Thursday, Carmen Laney will provide the music and Turbulence are scheduled for Friday afternoon. Saturday and Sunday, we have the Pink Boys and Rockin' Ronnie. If you don't like to cook during the festival, there will be a hot roast beef supper on Thursday at the community center, potluck at the parish hall on Friday, and the Lions will be serving breakfast at the community center Saturday morning. Pick up your Sand and Sea brochure for all the scheduled events. Don't forget to pick up your Sand and Sea Festival buttons and keychain. I had a chat with David Down with an internet update. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening, Maxine.
Do you have an update for us on our internet?
Yeah, well, before I went on holidays, we completed all of, or most of, what we had planned on doing for the upgrade, meaning that all the routers and all the switches and everything is all put in place. The additional radios are in place in the tower in Burgeo, both down in the middle of town, down in Westmoreo, and up at Foxfire. And that we've got the customers moved over on the radios, and the radios are balanced out a fair bit. There's a bit of tidying up to be done. Like even though the upgrade is done, there's still some people that were having internet problems, and that was due to equipment problems that they had in their house and stuff along those lines. We also had a fair number of customers that had a problem with seeing the towers. So when I went out to their houses and looked at it and said, look, this person built a piece on his house, or you got a patio there stuck in front of the antennas, and we moved those types of things. And also we had a number of radios give out, and so those had to be replaced and stuff. So for the most part, you should be seeing an improvement in your internet service. But we discovered afterwards that we were seeing some speeding up and slowing down of the internet sometimes. And what I discovered was that the link last year we changed the radios between Grand Brit and Virgil. But there's also another link that goes from Grand Brit to Rose Blanche, and we didn't change those radios last year because we didn't know we were having a problem with it, because when the internet used to go down, I couldn't see past Grand Brit, I couldn't see to Grand Brit. So what the board decided to do was buy the same radios that we use between Virgil and Grand Brit, and put those radios in between Grand Brit and Rose Blanche. So we got those radios now, and we're getting ready to put that equipment in. So that wasn't something that we had planned back in February when we had talked, but it's something that the board had decided to do after we started doing the upgrades, so that makes the service better again, or more reliable. So because we're happy now after having a year under our belt on the radios between Virgil and Grand Brit. So we're going to use those same radios, or same model of radios, between Grand Brit and Rose Blanche. So we're looking at trying to, if the weather cooperates, to get that done either next week or the week after. So hopefully we get it all done before August sits in and we got those issues. But what's happening, I'm seeing, is there are times when that radio speeds up and slows down. So when it slows down, it affects everybody's internet stuff. I also noticed that while I was on holidays, the 2 weeks I was gone, a piece of equipment failed up in Rose Blanche that shut off the internet for everybody. So I haven't got the report on that one yet, but I don't know how long that piece of equipment was failing. It was a piece of equipment that's owned by a line that connects us to the fiber optic network, and that just died on us. And they fixed that within an hour and a half or so, but I don't know how much that was affecting people's internet beforehand. So there's a new piece of equipment in there, so I've got to get talking to them and find out if that was affecting, causing the internet to speed up and slow down. And I got back in town here on Sunday night, on the 8th of July. Yes, Sunday night the 8th. And I noticed that my internet was really slow. Everybody's internet was slow. And Monday being a holiday, Tuesday when I came to work, there was a radio that was operating between the two towers here in Virgil, between the main tower and the one up in Foxfire. And that one was operating on the slowest possible setting that it could work on. So I don't know how long that was not working. Like I was on the holidays for 2 weeks. So that was affecting everybody's internet as well. So once I put that piece of equipment in place, that internet speeded back up again. So from Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock onwards, that I don't know if anything, I've got all the problems that I know that were in there that were fixed. I spoke to a couple of people afterwards this week, and we've replaced radios in people's houses, and we've moved the radios higher up on people's houses so that they can see the tower better. And since we put your radio in, or people's radios in, like a tree or something might have grown up in front of it, and now where it's wet and everything might be affecting the internet. So it's something that you might want to look at, that if your radio is not seeing the tower because the tree is growing up, because some people have been hooked up to the internet for 4 years, and the tree, this weather we're having around here, trees are growing pretty quickly. So that we've seen a combination of those types of things. They have people building pieces on their houses and stuff, and essentially if your antenna, wherever it is on your house, if it can't see the tower, then it's going to affect your internet. So that's something that needs to be aware of and stuff along those lines. And like I said, we've had a number of radios that were given out, and we've got them replaced and stuff, and we got a shipment of new radios in here today. So that's one of the things when somebody asked me about their internet, was the first thing I asked is, what are the lights like on your radio? So that's the first measure of if there's something wrong with the radio or not. But for the most part, I'm hearing it around that the majority of people are having a lot better internet service, and at times it still does slow down, but this is why we're changing the main link and stuff on those ones. So I think there's been an improvement from everything that I'm hearing, but we're still continuing on with more upgrades, right? There are a number of people out there that, even though we did the upgrade, that are still not seeing an improvement in their services. And for the most part, every one of those that I know about are people that can't see the tower at all, and they've never been able to see the tower. And those customers know where they are. And when I hooked them up and said, well, I'm really doubtful if you're going to get hooked up because you can't see the tower. Now, for those particular customers that we're talking to Alvarian and the manufacturers and other people about a radio that we can put up in a tower that is completely non-line of sight for a certain distance. And what I mean by that is, it doesn't matter if you can see the tower or not, you're driving around town, works on the same principle as a cell phone. You don't know where the towers are, but when you go around the hills and stuff, the radio still works, because your cell phone is essentially a radio that talks back to the tower. So what we're doing is looking at a product that we can do for those people that cannot see the tower. So like if you're hidden away down beyond a hill, or somebody's house is in the way, or whatever, like down around the harbour, and there's people up in Messers and stuff that can't see either one of our towers, and we're looking at putting the equipment up so that we would hook those people up to those radios, right? So trying to get one of those pieces of equipment in, and I'm trying to decide which one is the best one to come in and that. So I'm talking to different engineers, and I'm going to find out which one it is, get it in. So if I get one in the radio and test it, and it works to our satisfaction, then we'll start putting those in those people's houses, right? But certainly, if you're still having problems with your internet, first thing I would recommend you do is check the radio, see if the lights are on. If the lights are on and you can see the tower and stuff, give me a call and see what we can do. And at the same time, make sure your computers are clean, free of viruses and stuff along those lines. Adware, spyware, make sure that there's nothing in your computer that's stopping you from getting on the internet. So EBS is doing its part to try to get the system upgraded. So we highly recommend that you guys make sure you do your part and make sure it's not your computer. And I've had other customers that said, well, we did the upgrade and it didn't do anything for me, but I got rid of my old computer and got a new computer, and boy, the internet's fast. So it was my old computer. So it's a combination of the same thing. But I will say that for the most part, if you're still not satisfied with your internet service, then maybe you need to have a look at your radio and see what's going on there. But we are still working on doing more upgrades, because it's a continuing effort to upgrade the system, right? But in the next week or two, when we get the system replaced up in those plants, that it shouldn't be slowing down, so it should be consistent all the time. Right? So, anything else?
When you mentioned getting your computer clean of viruses, is there a particular kind of antivirus you would recommend?
Well, for the most part, if it's free and you're downloading it from the internet, chances are, like AVG, I'm not a big fan of AVG. Some people swear by it and things along those lines. I've never been a big fan of it. I think that you get what you pay for. If you've got a decent antivirus package, to recognize names out there are Semantic or McAfee. I said, so I would recommend one of those types of antiviruses. And for the most part, those guys, you have to get them upgraded, get new virus definitions every year and stuff. So that's what I would stick with. I'm not saying that some of the other ones that you download are completely useless, but at the very least, you should have an antivirus software on your computer that's up to date with the latest virus definitions. That's for one. For two, you should have something else that's running on there, like a firewall or something that blocks spam and spy bots. So you got to clean the computer up from that. So one time before, it was just an antivirus, but people out there are a little smarter now and computer savvy, so you got to watch for three different threats. One's antivirus, one is your spyware, and the other one's your adware, right? And when you go to different websites and getting your junk mail and stuff coming in, if you're getting a whole pile of junk mail coming in from Hotmail or wherever it's coming, you know that you got to get your computer, make sure you've got those types of defenses put on your computer and keep it cleaned up. You know? And the other side is, if you've got an old computer with not very much RAM in it or a slow processor, doesn't matter, she's not going to go fast, and you can hook her up to the freeway and you get a little old car, she can only go so fast, and that's all there's to it. So you can't expect, if you've got an old computer that somebody had condemned 2 years ago and you're still using her, she's not going to be as fast as one that you just bought at Staples or up here at ACOT Computers or wherever you bought the computer. You don't expect an old one to work the same speed as a fast one. It doesn't matter what kind of internet you connect it to. So you got to look at what you're using as well, right? So other than that, is those really make sure that you got. And if you got Windows 98, there's no more updates. But if you got Windows XP and stuff on your computers, and make sure you got all your updates and them. So because those updates are there to help protect you from getting attacked with spyware and adware and viruses and stuff on those things. So make sure you keep your computers updated on that side.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, thank you for your information.
Okay, and the other thing is you also have to recognize that a lot of people out there now have. One time before it was really strange to have a computer in your house, but you go into a lot of houses now and there's 2 computers in the house and they got a router hooked up. We've had a fair number of routers given out onto us, which is not our fault, but customers have $49 Staples routers or Walmart routers, D-Link. They're fine, but they only last so long. And I've been to a lot of people's houses and the routers have given out, and because they're only designed to handle so much traffic. And if you got someone in your house that's downloading movies and songs and all that kind of stuff using the internet, that little piece of gear gives out sometimes, so that affects you as well. And the other thing is, the radios that we're using to connect people up to the internet, they're capped at a certain speed, so that if you have 2 computers hooked up in your house, and one person is using their computer for downloading movies and songs, and the other person is trying to surf the net, and you realize that those 2 computers are affecting each other. So that sometimes if you're sitting on your computer and your internet's slow, sometimes it's probably the other person in the other room downloading the movie or song or whatever. So that make sure that does it. They all affect each other, right? So sometimes it's not always. And yes, we've already said that it could be us, but our internet does speed up and slow down, but we're trying to work to get that fixed as well. But sometimes it's not us, right? So that's something that I want to get across to you, right? So other than that, DVS is still continuing to upgrade the network. So I think that 6 months' time that we can still have chat about things we're doing to improve the network. Well, I've been here now for 6 years, and that's something that we've always been doing, building to the network and trying to make it better. And I think it's going to be a continuing effort to make it faster and faster and better, right? So anyway, that's the upgrade is still continuing.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
This concludes our programming for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.